got something here that's very interesting. This when my grandparents came over from Hungary. My grandpa came over in June 21st, 1902. Came over on the ship called the Zealand, and he came from Hungary. And he was 14 years old. And my grandmother came over in 1910, and she was 19 years old, on the USS President Lincoln. My mom and dad were very nice people. My mother was overbearing, and my dad was a real nice, sweet guy. He was with his kids all the time, and mom just kind of, hey, they're there, you handle them, whatever type of thing. But my dad was a real great guy. Childhood was awesome. I grew up in the country, way out. You didn't even know that we had a neighbor until it was nighttime and they turned their lights on and you could see their house. And we lived on a river. We had 500 foot of river frontage, so we swam in the river all the time, fished, ice skated, ice fishing. Joey number 2 was, he came out of back of a feed store in Arizona. His mother wouldn't feed him. So at that point in time, I got him, brought him home. I had to feed him out of a bottle and everything, and he just grew up with me. He was a good friend. He lived to be 13 years old. But when I used to go out riding horses and stuff, he'd be right there with me, and he got along really good with everybody, with the horses, and he was just a great dog. Just really a great dog. That's a strange situation. Your grandma was working at Hewlett-Packard in the printing division. I was in computers. And we just more or less talked to each other, and other people told me she was married, so I kept her as a good friend and everything. And then one day I stopped her in the hallway and I says, are you married? And she told me no, and I said, same day, I says, well, you want to go out and have a glass of wine after work? So we met after work for a glass of wine. She was supposed to be there at a certain time, and I think I'm not sure if this is how her family works or not, but she was like 45 minutes late, and I was
I got lost.
and I was about ready to just take off and say, okay, that was an experience. But she finally got there, and so we sat around and had a glass of wine, and we had a good time after that.